Hello everyone. Recently on the channel we've had lots of speculative discussions about what Beethoven might have thought of this or that great romantic composer of the next generation, which sadly didn't live to see. But we do know what he thought of some of his younger contemporaries. Rossini met Beethoven in 1822 and he talked about his encounter with Beethoven to Richard Wagner in 1860, years later, when Rossini was a relatively elderly man living in Paris. And this is what he said to Wagner about that visit. I had heard at Milan quartets by Beethoven, needless to say with what admiration. Also, I knew some of his works for piano. At Vienna, I heard for the first time one of his symphonies, the Eroica. This music knocked me over. Henceforth, I had but one idea: to make the acquaintance of this great genius, to see him if only once. I approached Salieri, whom I knew to be in touch with Beethoven. That's obviously the great Salieri, the Salieri of Amadeus fame, who had taught Beethoven. She taught Beethoven counterpoint in the late 1790s. So essentially Salieri, through another friend, enabled Rossini to go and see Beethoven, and this is what happened. So this is carrying on what Rossini said to Wagner in 1860. Shall I confess it? When I mounted the stairs leading to the poor lodgings of the great man, I barely mastered my emotions. When the door opened, I found myself in a sort of attic, terribly disordered and dirty. I remember particularly the ceiling. It was under the roof and showed crevices through which the rain could not help pouring down in streams. Is Rossini exaggerating? Quite possibly not. Beethoven at the end of his life was living in surprisingly squalid circumstances. This is a description of Beethoven's workroom, which I think was above his living space, and that was probably in better order. But I suspect that it wasn't great. I'm going to have to carry on this story because this is only a short, and we're going to run out of time. So tune into the next episode.